Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Britt, and if you haven't subscribed yet, you probably should because I talk about geeky things, and today we're going to talk about Beast Morphers for possibly one of the last times, except for now it just being integrated into the other videos where I've finished all the other Power Ranger seasons. I have finished Beast Morphers. This is fantastic. We've all finished Beast Morphers now at this point because, you know, it aired, but maybe not all of us, but you know. If you haven't, this might come with spoilers, so just be aware. I'm going to try to stay away from spoilers as much as I can, but I can't help myself sometimes, so just be aware. There might be spoilers. So at the end of season 1, I did kind of a recap of how I felt about season 1, and I think now is a great time to do a recap about how I felt about the entire series of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. So let's just jump right into it. So Power Rangers Beast Morphers. This was definitely a hot and cold relationship with me. I was very in and out of it. I was very excited about it, but I was also really frustrated with it a lot of the times. Beast Morphers was all in all a very good season. I would say pretty decently high when it comes to like where I would put it in that tier list that I did a while back, and I feel like I have to redo it again to put Beast Morphers in there. I don't know, maybe I'll wait until a little bit until I figure out kind of where it really honestly sits, because I'm gonna have to sit on it for a minute, maybe even rewatch it once, and see where I honestly feel. But Beast Morphers was really hot and cold with me. I talked about it a lot, that it had a lot of potential and it didn't quite meet it a lot of the time, because it was like Judlin was going for something really great and then he kind of pulled back. He just didn't want to make those big moves that he did in other seasons like Time Force or In Space or Lost Galaxy or hell, even the end of RPM. You know, because I hate putting a lot of I don't like talking about Judlin with RPM, even though I know he ran the end of RPM, but still, like, Eddie did most of RPM, so I feel like he did the majority of like the storytelling for RPM, so I really put a lot of the attention on Eddie for that particular season, even though I understand that Judlin ran it for the last portion of it. But still, Judlin has done many good things in Power Rangers, and luckily this wasn't another Dino Charge, because Dino Charge was so good in the first season and then it just kind of falls apart in the second season. And Beast Morphers, honestly, actually kind of got better in the second season in my opinion. I felt like it really got its own thing. Like the actors were finally feeling comfortable, and I think, you know, the stories were just getting better and they were building to things. So first we were building, you know, to Grid Connection, and then we were building to the finale. So there were a lot of things that we were building to throughout the course of at least season 2. So I think there was just a lot of involvement in season 2. So I really appreciated it. I honestly did. But it was still like, it was just one of those seasons that the potential's right here and it just misses. And there were times that it met its potential, like the finale really met its potential. You know, a couple of issues here and there, but nothing's perfect. But there were other times that potential was honestly just missed. You know, big moments that could have happened and just weren't. A great example is the use of Roxy and Blaze. Like when they were rescued from the Avatar situation, they were just pushed to like not even really recurring characters, like just bit roles that would pop in from time to time, and they could have really used those characters and they could have really done something cool with them, but they opted not to. It's just a great example as to why it had so much great potential and would miss it often. You know, there were so many times where I was like, this is going good, this is going great, oh my goodness, this is gonna be amazing, and then it just plummeted. You know, it just, there were really great moments in Beast Morphers, but in a lot of situations, it just missed the mark. And that was really frustrating for me, because I know what Judlin is capable of. And anybody who has seen In Space, anybody who has seen Lost Galaxy, anybody who's seen Time Force, anybody who's seen the end of RPM, and not anybody who has seen the end of Beast Morphers knows what Judlin is capable of. But he just, for some reason, lost interest in the project or lost sight of what the demographic is, lost sight of the franchise. I don't know, lost sight of something, because he just kept failing for me in a lot of situations. And that's not good when the showrunner's like, I don't really give a shit about the project. Because that's what it honestly felt like. It felt like he was half-assing it a lot of the time, and just was really unfortunate. Like, there were so many times where you guys were there for season 2 or for season 1 episode reviews. The reason I stopped making the joke of Hasbro calling me is because obviously Judlin is not going to be the showrunner anymore after this season, and Simon Bennett took over. And so I'm not going to have Hasbro call me, because I'm going to give Simon Bennett a chance. Simon Bennett messes up, then, you know, Hasbro and I will have a call again. But not that they actually called me, but like, you know, we'll start making that joke again. But that's why I stopped making that joke, because honestly, obviously we have to give Simon Bennett a shot. But at the end of the day, you know, Judlin, all in all, was just frustrating me over and over and over again throughout the course of this series, because it was just like, you could have done something great with this. You could have done something incredible. You could have made this one of the best. And he just kept failing at it. I felt like overall the acting was actually pretty good. I had my moments. There was that one Ravi episode where he and Smash were like up against this wind monster, like a vacuum, something, I don't remember. But there was a lot of wind, and he was talking like I'm talking right now. When you have a lot of wind, you have to be yelling. I'm not actually gonna yell because I live in my parents' mother-in-law suite. They could hear me, and they are both sleeping right now because it is late. It's past my bedtime. You're welcome. You need to actually be like yelling. And there were so many times where with his actor, I wanted just to jump into the screen and become the director and be like, give me more, I need more. Like, how can that director be looking at this actor and being like, that's it, that's the take we want from you. Like, honestly, he can obviously do better, because I've seen him do very well. So it's not that he can't do better than what he was doing, but he just was not given the right takes. The right takes weren't chosen, or his director just wasn't good. You know, and I've talked a lot about Zoe's actress, in regards to how, you know, she was very theatrical with her emotions. And so when she was sad, it was very theatrical sad. And when you're on screen, that doesn't really work. That's actually really not good. And so it really is frustrating as a director and as an actor, as somebody who has done theater, as somebody who has done film. I've done voiceover too, but obviously like that's completely different. You know, you have to be a lot subtler in front of the camera. You do. That's just part of it. Obviously, we talked a lot about Ben and Betty throughout the course of these episode reviews, and how I hate comedic duos in general. Comic reliefs, love them, but I don't like a lot of the comedic duos that Power Rangers has put forth, especially in most recent years with Neo Saban. I felt like that is a trend that needs to die. Let's just let it die. Let's let it die with Ben and Betty, please. No more comedic duos. I've heard there is going to be one in Dino Fury, but I'm hoping that's a big fat lie, because I don't want it. Let that die with Ben and Betty. Just done. Or at least do them right. Do them well. You know what I mean? Ben and Betty's actors, they're fine. I feel like, again, they're very theatrical. Like, they need to learn how to be on screen a little bit better. They need better screen presence. But all in all, they're just green, like a lot of these actors are. And the only issue that I have is I don't understand how to do slapstick well. And that, my friends, is a big problem. Because when your main function of the show is to be somebody who does slapstick and you can't do that well, becomes a real problem. And again, I've said this many times. I am not saying that because I'm like, I could do it better. I can't do slapstick either. That's why I don't do it. Because I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses in acting, and I don't do things that I know I'm going to be really bad at. So, I digress. But yeah, so I mean, all in all, the acting was pretty good. I feel like the standout actors from this particular series has been Liana and Abraham. I think both of them have really great careers ahead of them. And I think that if they create their craft well, if they hone their craft well, if they do more, just a little more training, they could actually do something really great going forward. They're both really young, so I'm excited to see kind of where their careers take them. Sorry, I cannot remember all these names. I'm so bad sometimes with names. It'll take a few watch throughs before I remember all their names. The guy who plays Devin, fantastic actor. He is definitely one of the standout actors, but I feel like there were a lot of moments where he could have done more too. But for the most part, I thought he was like one of the better actors as well on this particular series. A lot of the side characters weren't so great. You know, I felt like the woman who played the commander was very robotic a lot of times. And I get that she was trying to be prim and proper, but there's a way to be prim and proper without being robotic. And I feel like, again, she probably just wasn't directed well to do that properly. The guy who played Ben and Betty's dad, atrocious. Atrocious. I will say the one person that I think is a bad actor in that entire series is him. And I know he's been in something else Power Rangers. I can't remember. I remember finding him again later through a rewatch somewhere. I don't remember, but you know, he's there. He was in another episode. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember. Anyway, remind me in the comments below. He was in like one random episode of Power Rangers. Anyway, but he's terrible. At least in that particular season, he was terrible. So that particular series, he was awful. And I would never hire him ever after seeing him in that. Like, just atrocious, whether it was his writing, whether it was his directing, or whether the fact that he's just a terrible actor. Just atrocious. And mind you, he wasn't in it a lot, but when he was, I groaned. More so than when I saw Ben and Betty, because I just knew that I was going to hate this, because he's just not a good actor. But all in all, I felt like the acting was actually really good in Beast Morphers. I felt like the writing was actually really good as far as like conversational is concerned. Saban's team has always had trouble with conversational writing. It's one of my biggest issues with Lightspeed Rescue is the conversational or lack thereof writing. Lightspeed Rescue is atrocious when it comes to the writing. There's a lot of other places where it's atrocious, and we'll talk about that in another video. That is not this video, but I felt like this was actually really conversational writing, and I like that. When you're writing a script, you have to write the dialogue as if people are actually talking, and using proper ways that people would use terminology, words from the actual lexicon, so that it doesn't throw people out, because it can easily throw people out if you're using words that are not naturally used by people, and so therefore it just can't come out naturally. There were a few moments here and there where that would happen, but for the most part, this series, Beast Morphers, had very good conversational writing, and I really did appreciate that. Overall, the stories were really good, even if they did not quite meet their potential all the time. I felt like the stories overall were really, really good, and I really did appreciate it. The directing was really hit or miss with me, and usually, because I am a director as well and an actor, I can generally tell if it's directing or if it's acting. And the way that you can tell if it's directing or acting is, do a lot of actors from the same series do the same damn thing, or a lot from that series do the same thing. It's that kind of thing. So if an actor delivers a line a little weird and nobody else delivers that line weird, then it's usually the actor. If somebody delivers a line weird and another person delivers a line kind of the same way, and another person delivers a line kind of the same way, it's the director. So overall, the directing, I feel like, was really hit or miss, because I know the potential these actors really honestly had in a lot of moments, and then all of a sudden they didn't meet their potential in certain moments. And so it was one of those things where, as a director, I was like, but you can do better than that, so why aren't you? And so it's become clear that there were a lot of directing issues in Beast Morphers, and that's really frustrating as a director, but I don't know, Hasbro can call me about directing. That'd be great. Hey, Simon Bennett, call me about directing. I'd love to. Thanks. But yeah, so I mean, all in all, I think Beast Morphers was actually really good. It's probably gonna be up, probably not like top tier or, you know, second tier, probably in that third tier of my tier list video. That's probably where it's gonna end up. But I don't know, I gotta sit on Beast Morphers a little bit, maybe rewatch it once and see how I feel about it again. So I'm gonna give it some time. I'm gonna sit on it for a little bit. Once the whole thing has been released on Netflix, I might give it one more watch through and see how I feel about it one more time through, where I can just really pay attention and be in the moment instead of taking notes all the time, and just see kind of where we are with that. But all in all, that's kind of how I felt about Beast Morphers. Let me know in the comments below what you guys felt about Beast Morphers as a whole, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you guys want to see the season finale of Beast Morphers episode review, click right here. If you guys want to see all the Beast Morphers videos I've ever done, you guys can click right here. It covers most of season 1, all of season 2, plus this video. And I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.